Hello everyone and welcome to the Green Valley Roval. This is going to be the last race of the night at our special Green Valley single track doubleheader, doing the oval, then doing the Roval. Front row, right to left, Vulcan, Luke, Nuked, Camby, Solange, Roman, Opix, Hunter, and Soul. And as far as the laps go, we're going to be running 50 laps. 50 laps, which will put us at like 127, I hope. So yeah, 50 laps, which seems like a lot, but again, this road course is pretty quick on the lap times. The lap times are not that much longer than the oval lap times. As of course, a big part of the road course here literally cuts the turn. So yeah, it's actually a pretty quick lap. So 50 laps for this feature race. Seems like a lot for a GP. It is the most on the schedule, but it's a pretty quick one. We're going to be going at that green line. Who's going to get the good start? The outside got the good jump the last time, and it does again. Luke with the start. Camby trying to follow through. Let's see how they do into the sweeper. Everybody stacking up. Oh, that got kind of scary for Camby there, but he's able to hold on to it. 3 wide. That's pretty freaking risky. Oh, they get locked up. They get locked up going 3 wide through the chicane, and Nuked, Camby, and Roman all go wide, but Camby and Roman got the worst of it. Yeah, that was sketchy. That was sketchy. And now we have Soul, Camby, and Roman 3 wide. What is going on? I can't believe that we saw that 3 wide in the chicane was not on my bingo card for this race, but we saw it. They went for it, very risky, and it kind of paid off for Nuked, but not. I mean, he kind of just ended up like kind of where he actually ended up back a few spots, but I mean, it could have been worse, I suppose. He didn't get the short end of the stick on it, so I guess it kind of worked out. Camby going too far inside. Oh no, what a rough start for Camby, man. That is so unfortunate, especially because Camby had a pretty decent run in the oval, and Camby seemed like he had some pretty decent pace for this track. But yeah, that is such a rough start for Camby, man. Tough to see that in his return. I can't remember the last time Camby did an HRL race. This might be his first start in 2022. I honestly don't know. It's been a while, but welcome back, Camby. Sorry that this road course race is not going your way, but at least the oval race was decent and had some highlights. That being said, it's not over. I mean, if these guys are packed up and bogging right here and battling, I mean, if Camby stays focused, I mean, it's going to take a while, but might be able to come back into it. I know it seems crazy, but I'm telling, if these guys battle and bog and hit each other and crap like they're kind of doing right now, it's gonna help. It's gonna help, and Camby's gonna gain time. Too wide to the chicane again. Oh, Opix just with a mean case of the bogs right now. Not what he needs. Luke and Vulcan out front, by the way. Vulcan still battling very hard on Luke's bumper, trying to stay with him there. Hunter and Roman. Very risky. I thought Hunter might have gone over there, but yeah. So it's Luke, Vulcan, and Solange. Luke, Vulcan, and Solange are the Green Valley Reapers right now because they are back in the podium spot. Yes, Vulcan did not finish on the podium spot in the oval race, but he was competing for it for quite a while. And it looks like those three that had that epic battle, especially early on in the oval feature, are back at it again. Those guys just seem to have this Green Valley road course dialed in, or track in general, really, I should say, dialed in, and they've been doing a really good job so far. Oh no, that was the cheese for Soul. I don't want to do a replay because it's going to cheese the film and then I'm going to lose full. But we did see it there. You have to go back and take a look if you guys want to for the replay on that one. These freaking reach films, dude. I'm just not. I can't be bothered. All right, if it was normal time, maybe, but it's 1:20 when I'm recording this. I'm not doing it. Sorry. Actually, I'm not sorry. I'm not doing it. Soul probably doesn't want me to replay it anyways. Let's be real. But that was an unfortunate moment in the race there for Soul because he's actually in a pretty decent spot. I think he was around like top 5 competing for it. But yeah, that cost him a lot of time. Now he's at the back. Camby, by the way, oh no, that sucks too. Oh, Hunter cheesed right after it. Wow. Man, wow. Really bad luck here for these guys in the back 3 spots. But you know what? Credit to Camby. That's 2 spots. For the start of this race, it was like, wow, Camby's race might be over finishing last. Well, there's 2 spots. Already picked up 2. And, you know, maybe he sticks with it. Maybe he can get a couple more. You never know. But yeah, this is Luke, Vulcan, and again, Vulcan just diving at every single corner. showing Luke that he's there, staying as close with him as he possibly can. And lap traffic could potentially be a role here eventually, because look, with that bad wreck, Hunter's not that far away from Luke here. So that could potentially be a thing, and Soul spins out there, so maybe we'll get back to him in a bit too. The race really falling apart for Soul and Hunter, unfortunately. At least on the bright side for more so Hunter than Soul, but a little bit for both of them. I mean, they at least had like some decent results, got some points in the oval race, especially for Hunter picking up his first podium of the season, but this second race not looking so good for either of them. Those GP cautions, man, I'm telling you. Telling you. But Luke now started to open a little bit of a gap. Not too intense, but a few goose lengths there on Vulcan, enough to get Vulcan away from him on his bumper in every single corner. All right, maybe not. Maybe not. Maybe still there. Oh, no, Soul cheesed again. Oh, man, that is just unfortunate, dude. That is tough. Definitely going to be a mulligan race for Soul on the night. Definitely going to have to look past it. This one. Not what he's looking for.
Checkpoint reached. Lap complete.
But it happens for everyone. You know, not every race is going to be a great one. And hopefully if he brings it back next coming weeks, try to regain from that. Yep. When it rains, it pours. When it rains, it pours. I mean, to be fair, the race is already like kind of chalked for him at this point, so this is just like salt in the wound. But unfortunate go of it for Soul here. Yeah, this one definitely. I think he's definitely going to be conceding to a mulligan. I think he's definitely going to be conceding to a mulligan on this one. Which, I mean, everyone, like I said, everyone's going to have those races. Everyone's going to have those mulligan races. So just got to try to look past it and try to bring it back for the next one. I mean, we still have 5 motos left in the season. And when I do another recap, well, I already had the one recap, but there's a lot of points battles left at stake. I mean, almost everybody in the standings that is, you know, doing like the full season, has decent starts, is in some form of point battle, or like close on some form of point battle. So that's kind of what we're looking at. But Luke now starting to get a little bit of a gap on Vulcan. Vulcan's got a little gap on Slaunch. Slaunch got a little gap on Nuke. Nuke really making up some time here, trying to get to the top 3. Lost so much time early on. Got some clean air and now trying to take advantage of it. Trying to get up to those guys. And it looks like he's going to be able to, at the moment, should at least catch up to Slaunch at the current pace, you would think. But that's the top 4. 5th place is Roman again. Like we saw from the oval, he's in 5th currently. Opix behind him, then Camby. Hey, Camby, not that far off. Not that far off, I'm telling you. Sticking with it. The recovery run. The recovery run. I mean, he really isn't, though. Really isn't that far off of Roman and Opix. Like, a little mistake, a little battle from those. Camby could recover for a top 5 here. Like, this is a pretty great recovery drive for how that start went. I mean, we'll have to wait and see. But there are a lot of laps left, so it is possible. It is definitely possible.
Checkpoint reached.
Yeah, the top 4 starting to gap out a bit, but again, I think we'll have a battle here, or the race in general is starting to gap out a little bit. But in a few laps' time, I think Nuke and Slaunch, I think we'll definitely see a battle there for the podium spot. Nuke's been putting in some pretty good laps and has been gaining little by little, lap after lap. And I think when he gets close enough to Slaunch, which at the current pace it seems like he will be able to get close enough to him, I think he'll definitely go for something there. And it's interesting because that's actually a points battle too. Slaunch and Nuke are very close to each other in the points now. That is the battle for the 3rd place spot in points. The battle for the championships between Luke and Detail, who we don't have tonight, by the way, if I forgot to mention that. Our favorite Hispanic with a deep voice, Detail, not here tonight, unfortunately. Lamau, we miss you. But yeah, not here for tonight. But, you know, hopefully bringing it back in the last few weeks. Still competing for that championship. Not too far behind, but probably going to lose some ground on Luke in this week. Of course, him not being here and Luke winning the first race. And so far looking pretty good for the second one. Definitely going to lose some ground there, but not over until it's over. Not over until it's over. Again, 5 motos is a lot, and these reach races can be tough. I mean, you never know. If something happens, if you get a couple flips, If you get a couple flips early on, there's not really a whole lot you can do to recover, especially if it's not an oval race. So you're going to be kind of set for a bad result. And if that could happen to Luke a couple times and Detail has a good run, heats up a little bit, you never know. But either way, that's definitely, at this point, that's definitely the battle for the championship. I don't think anybody else is close to that. But Nuke and Slaunch are very close to each other for third and fourth. So they're going to be a points battle there. The interesting part of that points battle is the mulligan situation, because Slaunch has 2 mulligans, Nuke has no mulligans. So Slaunch has a little bit of a cushion for some bad finishes, whereas Nuke, if he has a bad finish, it's counting. And there's the send! There's the send right now, and man, that just worked out poorly for Slaunch because he was starting to make up ground on Vulcan, but then again, it was like starting to get to that point where it's like if he doesn't find the send on Vulcan, then it's going to hold him up, and then Nuke will find the send on Slaunch. That's like kind of what happened there. So yeah, catching up to Vulcan ended up being a bad thing for Slaunch there. 91 at the line here for Luke. So again, I believe going to 127, well over the halfway point, but we're getting there, you know, this race. But yeah, Nuke entering into the podium position has been pretty strong. Most of the GPs this season just hasn't been able to get the win, or the GPs and a lot of the SXs too been strong, but the win has just eluded them. Even got an overall last week before picking up a moto win in the season. Many second places on the season, but yeah, just the win has eluded them, and you know, maybe another chance here at Green Valley. But again, it's going to be tough. Probably needed Hunter to hold up Luke a little bit more, but that didn't really happen. Hunter blue flagged pretty well, so didn't really happen there. And again, Nuke's got to worry about Slaunch behind him. He's also got to get by Vulcan here, and then when he gets by Vulcan, again, he's got to get by Hunter too, so it's going to be tough for these guys to catch up to Luke in first at this point in the race. The way it's looking, if he doesn't make a mistake, it's going to be tough for that lead spot to go down. In the Green Valley Road Course, Luke trying to pick up his second GP win on the season. And interestingly enough, for the GP races on the season, this is something that applies to them that does not apply to any of the other track categories, actually, is that leading into this race, a different winner for every GP race this season. A different winner for every single one. There has not been a repeat winner for this track category yet, which is pretty crazy. Of course, with the ovals, Luke has won multiple races. Of course, with Supercross, Detail has won multiple races as well as Luke. So there's been repeat winners in those categories. But not the case. Not the case for GPs. Because the first race, Arena, we saw Roman take the upset win there in week 1. And then we saw Road America. Detail got his first win there. Ladder Goat, that was Hunter, right? Yep. Ladder Goat, Slaunch had that great night where he came out of nowhere and just swept the night, dominated that night, took Ladder Goat. Then Luke finally got one on the board at Coda. And then Lime Rock Park, Cat just comes out of nowhere and is like, hello. And then just wins that one. And now we're at the Green Valley Road Course, and now it kind of has to happen, right? Unless something crazy happens to Luke, some lag cheese or some mistake or lapper cheese or something, could open up the door for Vulcan and Nuke. Vulcan and Nuke in second and third both have not gotten a GP win. Slaunch in fourth and Luke in first are the closest ones here that have. So if something cheesy happens to Luke, Vulcan and Nuke in second and third, that would be another new winner for the GP category. So that streak still has a chance. You know, there's a chance. There's a chance. Not a very likely chance, but there is a chance for that to happen here. So that possibility is still open. But if Luke holds on to it, then that'll be the first, this late in the season, first repeat winner for this track category, which is pretty crazy because the repeat win didn't take too long for Oval or SX. But man, the GPs have just been really competitive, really back and forth. And even though the same people have been finishing near the podium, near the top 5, the slot for the win has just kept switching out. We're going to go on board with Nuke and Vulcan here because this battle's heating up, and Slaunch has lost the pace with these guys a little bit these last few laps. Maybe if they start battling hard, maybe Slaunch can bring it back, but right now it's looking like Slaunch won't be able to pull off the double podium. Look at this run. Not going to be able to do anything with it, though, unfortunately. But yeah, at the moment, it's looking like Slaunch will not be able to pull off the double podium. I mean, there's still some laps. There's still some laps, but that's what it's looking like. But Vulcan's doing a really good job holding on to the second place, so you could tell he wants to hold on to it. By the way, Meanwhile, while we were watching all this cheese and discussing all this, Camby did get by Roman and Opix. I don't know how, but he pulled it off. Camby is in the top 5. Camby is in the top 5. He's got Roman challenging him behind, so he's got to be careful for that. But right now, Camby is in the top 5. That's a pretty impressive recovery run. Really rough start to the race. Went back to last with a pretty deep gap there as well early on in the race. And now has fought his way all the way back to 5th. If Camby finishes in 5th, that is, I think, a major success. Like, for how the race went for him, major success. And they're having a crazy battle. I'm trying to, like, watch it at the same time as this battle. Camby and Roman having a crazy battle. Oh, Roman at the big bog, though. But yeah, so that's an incredible recovery run from Camby to get some of those points back in his first and hopefully not only start. Please come back, Camby. We love you. Yeah, first start in the season there. But the laps are winding down. Luke's going to be going to 2 to go. This time by. Hasn't swept since week 2. But looking to do it here again in week number 8. Looking to dominate the Green Valley night for the oval and the road course. And so far it's looking like he's set to do it. That battle for 2nd and 3rd is still on. 1 more lap to go. White flag for Luke. Take another dub here at Green Valley. Vulcan and Nuked. A couple more opportunities here. Can Vulcan hold on to 2nd? Because this would be a pretty big upset and a pretty big finish for him. And it looks like he's going to be able to do it. But crossing the line, Luke's going to take the win here. And Vulcan will hold on to it. There it is. Man, all these upset finishes the last few weeks. But yeah, Vulcan taking 2nd, Luke, Nuked taking 3rd, Slaunch 4th, and wow, at the line, photo finish. It wasn't that close, but it was still a photo finish. Camby does hold off Roman. Camby does make the comeback race happen to finish in 5th. Roman 6th, Opix 7th, Hunter 8th, and Soul 9th. Excuse me. Yeah, what a night. What a night. So, of course, Luke's going to take the overall with that one. We'll go through those results real quick. Going to be Luke first overall with 34 points. Vulcan and Slaunch tied 28 points a pop, but Vulcan will get the tiebreaker there, 2nd and 3rd. Hunter and Roman tied 4th and 5th. Hunter will get the tiebreaker there, 23-23. Nuked and Camby tied 6 and 7. Nuked will get the tiebreaker there, 22-22. And then Soul Reaper and Opix tied 8-9, 19-19. Soul gets the tiebreaker there. Man, what? That's crazy. Ties all throughout the field except for first place, which of course it was 9 drivers. It couldn't be ties the whole way. Well, I guess it could have been if there was a 3-way tie, but that's crazy how many pairs of drivers we had those overall results right there. So many guys tying in the night. But yeah, great. The big stories, yeah, great result for Vulcan. Vulcan taking a 2nd overall. That is incredible. Taking a 2nd place podium spot in the last race and taking a 2nd place overall. Even though they didn't have their full team here, what a night for Full Send. That was one of the best nights for Full Send. They got 2nd and 3rd. Unfortunately, only 2 entries, but they got 2nd and 3rd overall. Unfortunate that Turkey wasn't here because they had a really good chance at the team win if Turkey was here, I think. But yeah, Full Send really showing out here at Green Valley. I got to give credit to them. Got to give credit to Vulcan and Hunter. Those two, getting some upsets in there, getting their first podiums on the season for both of them in the same night. Slaunch getting another good podium finish in the oval, and Nuke getting another solid podium in the GP. Luke taking the sweep, setting it up for the last 5 races. So he's going to have a big points lead, but can Detail run him down again? We'll see if he's able to pull it off. 5 races, it's going to be difficult, but it is doable. Hope you guys enjoyed this special Green Valley doubleheader. And next week we have Trip Reigns, SX, and Adrenaline Autodome to look forward to. And I'm telling you, Adrenaline Autodome is freaking awesome. I'm really looking forward to that race. I'm really looking forward to that one. I've been looking forward to that one all season. So don't miss it. And if you're racing, race that freaking track. I'm telling you, it's worth showing up for. The SX is solid too, but that Adrenaline Autodome is going to be really fun. Hope you guys enjoyed this night, and we'll see you there next week.